going on, guys? WayDax98 here with another episode of Patch Notes. Now we're going over 3.17. I'm right. I'm not losing my mind yet. But I am joined with somebody with a little bit more mental stability, and that is Mr. Fang Vantino. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. So, I watched a little bit of this Patch Notes. Fang's watching it right now. So,
Yep.
we're going to be missing some of this. So, as you can hear it in the background. So, so this is the Odyssey 2017 patch, and as you see, that actually works out really well. It's the 3.17 patch.
Oh yeah.
2017. Okay, there we go. So, as you see, there's no new god because it's not an even number, like I say in every single one. So, we're going straight to skins, and we've got Amaterasu, which he's got this. I guess you can call it cutesy. It's kind of just Fox Amaterasu. I guess it kind of goes back to the whole thing with the fox being kind of a big thing in Japanese mythology. Tonome and the Nine Tails and all them. I mean, that plus I guess they wanted to make a skin for Amaterasu.
Creepy.
It's cute. I like the sword and the mirrors.
I like
cool,
the sword and the shield.
but
Those look good.
I mean, I feel like this is just fan service. It's just so much fan service. I mean, yeah, it feels like fan service, and I don't really think I didn't get to see any of the effects, but I don't really think that it kind of really fits with Kawaii Basset and Hajuke or Hajuka Neath or whatever. I think it is kind of its own style, but it's on the lines of that cutesy style, but it's more kind of based around the mythology and kind of gets in there. It's okay, but I'd much rather want to see something. If they're going to put a warrior, they need to put a warrior. They need to give them a skin that's pretty badass, in my opinion, because most of the warriors are pretty just badass in general.
Meh.
Meh. You don't play warriors. I play warriors.
I know, but I run through warriors like they're nothing, like they're butter.
You don't run through my warriors. Okay, so that's Fox Amaterasu, and I'll play the quick voice back real quick.
I'm not scared of hounds. They're cute.
That is, just play it one more time.
I'm not scared of hounds. They're cute.
I mean, I don't know what to say about that. It's just, it's pretty cringy, actually, to be honest with you. It's kind of cringy. I mean, you don't think of this sun goddess, kind of god of all gods, to be saying, "It's cute." No.
The spams are gonna be real.
Oh my god. Okay, so next up we have is the other Japanese god, which is Susanoo. And this one's actually really cool. I'm not a fan of its voice pack. I think everyone pretty much said that they did not like his voice pack, other than the developers, which it's okay, but I think they could have gone with a much deeper voice form. This is Samurai Susanoo, and it's a really cool skin. I really like this design. I mean, the sword looks badass. His whole armor metallic look looks badass. I'm glad they kept the hat and kind of gave him the robotic kind of helmet kind of hat, straw hat look feel to it. I'm really happy with the skin, other than a little bit of the voice pack. I think it should be deeper. And chat during the stream basically said they did not like the voice pack. So, I mean,
Well, I mean, when they go into the robot side of things, they sort of, instead of dropping the voice, they raise it. I don't know why, but
yeah,
I've noticed
that's true.
it.
That's true. You have like the Geb 1 skin. It's and it goes to and I'm like, okay. So, but it's a really cool skin. The voice pack's okay. I'm really looking forward to this one. This is one that I'm definitely going to get out of the Odyssey. Fox Amaterasu, maybe not. I'm not sure about that one yet. I do play Amaterasu, and I do like the Amaterasu support, but I just don't see myself playing that one. Um, so that's the thing. Now, next up on the and I'll play the voice back real quick.
I'm a master of both blade and circuit. I'm a master of both blade and circuit.
So as you can hear, it's kind of a little bit more high pitched. It sounds like a snarly professor over kind of the badass samurai that he needs to be. So yeah, I think Fang just listened to it himself. So it was it's I got a feeling that's going to be changed. It's going to be there's going to be a call out on the on Hi-Res to do it, kind of like they did with the redone Lokis. The redone Loki, what was his name? The special ops Loki got his voice changed because it was too much like the. It was kind of like that, and it just didn't match. So I got a feeling that may be changed, but we'll see. I guess we will see. So as you can see, we have Oldwa, as everyone calls her, Oldwa, Nuwa. And it's basically the old Nuwa skin. It's a retro skin, and it's actually a really, really nice skin. And I think this one's actually one that can be gotten free through a challenges with the Odyssey, which I'll get onto that in just a second. But it's a really, really cool skin. I didn't get to play the old Nuwa skin. By the time I got to Smite, it was the new Nuwa. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of mix old and new and see what they do with this retro skin.
It looks amazing. It is amazing.
I'll
be honest, her ult, so when she's just spawned in or whatnot, she'll be walking, actually touching the ground, feet and everything, and then whenever she ult, she turns, like, the half of her body turns into the serpent
like her
form, and it actually stays. So it's nice to see that they've mixed in the concept of her ulting and it staying like they did with Thor with his tier 5 skin. And the fact that they're actually letting her touch the ground for once instead of floating like a princess, which we all know she isn't.
Although she does touch when she jumps.
Yeah, she does.
Which is kind of like a Amaterasu, that she floats and then she jumps and then she lands on the ground and then floats back up. It's like, okay. Which, okay. And, but it does also, she did go into her snake form in her ultimate in Retro Nuwa, I do know that, so it kind of reverts back to that. So it's good to see, like they said in the past notes, they didn't really dislike, there was nothing wrong with this Nuwa. There was just something go on that made them want to change it. I think it was a call out from the community. So this is kind of the community saying, for those people who really did like the old Nuwa, we're not changing your kit back, but here's a skin that's basically the old one. But you just
they should have, but still looking good.
I mean, got more clothes on than the normal one, so that's saying something.
I'll be honest, don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
You would.
But on the subject of warriors, I'll be honest.
On the subject of
The
warriors.
Materasu skin. The skin is cringy, but the voice isn't too bad. It could have been a little bit better, but
I'm saying you did listen to the same voice pack that I listened to, right?
yeah, I did.
It's cringy as fuck. It's cringy, man. It's cringy. The skin's okay in my opinion, but that voice pack, it's cringy. It matches the skin, but it's super cringy. That last part, it's super cringy. Her voice pack matches. That's the main reason I say there's connections to the cutesy one, like the kawaii ones. Because of that, the voice pack basically, because he doesn't match like the color scheme or any of the other ones of the other ones, but that voice pack it gives her connections. So we keep going back to Amaterasu. I feel like she's just taking over the show at this point.
Hey, that's back to the roots of the fox, though.
Yeah.
I like my Ninetales.
Yeah. Still think they should have given it to Scylla as a tier 5.
Oh my god.
I love that concept I saw was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not getting you started on the tier 5 skin though.
Oh,
Don't do
okay.
it. Don't. Don't.
Okay. So
Don't.
headed to the next one.
Go. Yeah, we got the
Uh,
Terra Masteries,
what
and
good?
I mean, I've all as I've said in every single Masteries that they've done with the new style, I always like it better than the other one. And this is one that I say it makes her look really good. Like Erling, it's okay. I mean, there was not enough skin on Erling to really make a difference. Although when you really look at it in the because we got the patch today too, but I got it up downloading early, and I got up a little bit earlier so I could check it out. She looks this one, she matches well. And I saw they actually showed off the effects, like when she pops out the rocks with her passives up. Like, those are golden too. And they have kind of the shine, the kind of the explosion of dirt is now like golden dust and diamond dust and stuff like that. And it's, I think all of her obelisks and her monoliths and stuff are gold, I think. Don't hold me to that. I didn't watch the full thing. But I really like these skins. I'm gonna try to get her to 5 before 3.7. If we don't have another double XP weekend, I can't promise that. But yeah, I really like these skins. I
I'll be
really do.
honest. This is probably the first skin where I didn't like the legendary or golden, but that diamond hit the spot.
Really, you like the diamond
Yeah.
the most? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard that more than anybody say that they like the legendary more. That's because most people like the legendary more than the diamond. But I have to.
True.
I'd have to. I myself have not looked at it exceptionally hard to see which one I like the most because of, like I said, I was in class in the middle of this time, so
Yeah.
or in my volunteer class basically. But um, it just I really like the looks of this skin and I really enjoy it. So I'll be looking forward to it coming up. And next
Yeah.
up, and they made just as a side note here, they made um, they made the comment that as other gods are getting their skins, they will be doing those gods for the redo masteries. Basically, because it's easier for them to do, because it's not so many, I guess, files brought up at one time. They can kind of work with one model at a time, and just kind of technical stuff. So, since we got the Nuwa skin, we're getting Nuwa masteries. And to be honest, I looked at these and I was sitting here thinking, that's exactly what I expected. One and two, that looks so much better than gold-faced Nuwa, in my opinion.
Eh.
Eh. Come on.
Eh.
You're still one that kind of likes the old style, though.
Well, my thing is, when you think about it, you gotta think it's like, okay, we're gonna do the new mastery skins, but the thing is, for the mastery skins to actually work out, they actually have to have quite a bit of like clothing or
I
armor.
knew you were going to go there.
She doesn't really have anything, so in my opinion, yeah, even though like her skin is a normal color and whatnot,
But that's the
it's
thing.
not really much showing like, oh, I finally hit that mark, I've got to this. Like she doesn't really have, in my
I
opinion, the clothing to.
I agree with that. Other than if you look at this card, and this does match up with her actual player model, she does have the markings on her. All of the markings on her body is gold like that. So
Yeah,
you have the scales and everything have the kind of gold paint, all the gold jewelry on her hair. I know that the diamond looked really nice. It contrasted well with her hair color, and kind of gave her whole body kind of a shine without her being completely diamond.
yeah.
Um, but of course,
But
of course, you don't have a whole lot else you can do with that, being that she's wearing a freaking scarf over her whole freaking body. Um,
true.
so, like, if Retro Nuwa was still around, she would probably fit better in this style. Although this is, in my opinion, I never liked the look of the golden face. If you're gonna look the god in the face, like, I never liked the look of it, and I
Hey,
don't
my
like the look
thing
of it at a
is,
distance either. Like going against somebody like a golden Shiva Lanke, I never like to see that golden mush at a distance.
yeah.
Um, and I say Xbalanque because he's somebody I had to lane against that was like a legendary. The other is a golden black mush in the distance. You couldn't tell what was what. Um, and that's really what
Yeah.
I like about it. So, I mean, I see where you're going from, but I'm still a firm believer that this style is probably the best style they could have gone with it.
I'll be honest, I feel like maybe if they would have probably changed her hair color a little bit
Oh, hey, it's actually going to zoom in for me.
in the nice in the mastery skin changes, then like if they would actually if the guy didn't have much clothes or something and they were gonna give them the new mastery skin, like if they just change a little bit about them just to make them look more like, oh, they've been touched up by the mastery change instead of stuff being taken out type thing. Or if they would have just made her little shards that she rotates around
Hmm.
have some kind of like reflective shining something to them,
Hmm.
and that would have been good enough for me. But being the mage player, I'm gonna probably critique everything that they do to a mage
You're a lot
if it
like me.
doesn't look
This is
perfect.
the exact opposite thing with the Amaterasu. I mean, I'm critiquing the Amaterasu. You're critiquing with the mages. So,
Yeah.
that's just the thing. And you guys, actual Smite players, should probably listen to me that said support Amaterasu. And you went say what? And I mean, it's worked. It's worked. I can't. I mean, support Ravana and support Amaterasu work. So,
I can vouch for it.
I mean, it may just because I have a decent soul or Chronos in lane, but we kicked ass with it. On to the next ones. We have Geb, Hebo, and Izanami with achievements. So Geb has I will protect you as Geb cleanse a teammate with Stone Shield if the ally is below 60%. 60%. 20%. Where did I get 6 from? Oh god, I am going crazy. Ugh. Okay, so basically save your teammate with the Geb shield. That's going to be a semi. I'm going to put that as not easy, but not hard, kind of a normal rank.
Hey, it says cleanse them. It doesn't say that you had to save them.
That
So
is
if
true.
you're
That
one
is
of those
true.
people,
Like put them in a Kraken, and then like they'll still if they still die from my the whirlpool, they die from the whirlpool. It's like I mean.
hey,
Uh,
win lose situation.
when
You
I
won
get an
because you got your
achievement,
achievement.
you lose your life, and then we
Yeah,
probably lose the game.
true that. Just gotta be clear whenever doing this on Conquest, but
Yeah.
Arena, let them die.
Let 'em
That
die.
achievement matters
Screw
more.
you guys. Screw you! I want these achievements. These gamer score, as in the Xbox players will go. Or I want
Oh
these
yeah.
trophies on PlayStation. Oh wait, PlayStation's behind today because PlayStation Network was down yesterday. I mean today. Sucks for
Dang,
you
no
guys.
shots, no shots.
Okay. Okay,
We still
so
love PS.
I'm probably going to be getting
PlayStation.
PlayStation 4 soon, just because stuff's on it.
Ah,
No Man's
shit.
Sky.
Well, on to the
On to
next achievement.
events.
Hub.
It's
Oh,
catalyzed.
actually,
Yeah, we still have another
catalyzed.
catalyzed.
My bad. I was trying to get to the
You were
mage
trying to
real
get to the
quick.
mages. As Geb hit 3 or more enemy gobs with Cataclysm. This is like Blink Geb's favorite thing to do. Oh, team fight. Blink. Poof, achievement. So that's more going towards the easy side. You really don't even have to have Blink to get a 3 or plus man stun with the Geb ult, especially if there's somebody you're peeling for someone. They just run past you and you ult everyone that's chasing them, which is usually a full team because everyone on console seems to be a kill hungry son of a. But that's others saying, hey, look, dispersed. Not one of those kill hungry son of a. But I mean, and I'm not going back and I'm censoring myself for Horan so I don't have to censor myself in the editing. I'm saving myself
Oh,
time. So so that's basic. Those achievements. I mean, normal and easy achievement. That's not horrible. Hebo, so steady. As Hebo, use full stacks of your stay flow for over 30 seconds.
well, nothing to say about that. Because literally, just use your little walkway. You're never gonna run out. You got cooldown, your scroll
So
roll thing, whatever you call it. Just use that.
basically have Book of Thoth and Kronos' Pendant late game, and you've got that.
Yup.
And just like
Like,
run around in
easy.
lane, like screw around with like clear minions for a couple waves, and you're good. Or actually, you don't have to get boots. Don't even get boots. Just get Book of Thoth, Kronos' Pendant, and like in lane phase you'll get that. So that's kind of like Xing Ten's achievement, like hold your HP 5 at max for like 30 seconds or something. I mean, it's fire breath the whole wave. I mean, it's pretty
Yeah,
easy.
you don't have to worry much about that.
Killer Wave is Hebo. Kill 3 or more enemy gods with a single crushing wave. Don't be a shit Hebo. There you go, guys. Don't be a shit Hebo. We've played with a couple people that couldn't get a kill period with Hebo. And
Yup.
those people, don't play Hebo if you can't do that. If you can't get a
Savage on
kill,
the randoms.
don't. I'm being uber salty to the randoms because they have been bitches lately.
Yeah. You just look at my Guru score for
my
us, and
God.
you'll see.
Oh, man,
Randoms are the best. But on the Izanami, I'll take this
Izanami.
one off of your hands, Wade,
Okay,
because
go ahead.
this
I
is
need
Bay
to
in the
cool down
makings.
anyway.
Where are you going? As Izanami, max out summon demons by getting a kill or assist on 2 enemies when they are slowed by it. Basically,
Double
you
kill with
just throw out your slow in a team fighters. Well, throw out your slow in a team fight, or when you're trying to solo against somebody, kill them or get the assist. You got it. You got one right there. Then the next time, just do the same thing. Basically, just play as Anami. You'll get it in no time.
it. Mm-hmm.
For the next one, Death's Call. As Izanami, kill an enemy god while at or below 25% health.
Oh my god.
Your passive gives you the pin. You've got it.
I mean,
Get
yeah.
that
That's not even-
what's the name, Guardian on you. You just take him down. Easy. Pins, attack speed.
Any non-burst guardian, or hell, any non-burst hunter, like, I mean, box somebody and win. That's basically box another hunter and win in late game. That's basically your. Not hope you don't get bursted down to 0 automatically and kill them, because both of you are going to do about the same amount of damage.
True.
It's that easy, guys. I mean, they
Just box a whole Yi.
I would have loved to have seen something like hit 3 or more enemy gods with one vortex of darkness vortex, whatever our ultimate is, because that's actually a pretty
Yep.
small circle. That would have been a lot harder to hit unless you had somebody set you up like an Ares
Or Xingten.
or a Xingten. But
Or
still,
Dina.
that has a lot of charge up time. I mean, an Ares can pull them in and stun. It holds them in place for a second. Xingten, you'd have to be at like Xingten would have to play golf to hit that, and because you'd have to set it, because they, as soon as someone lands a Xingten, they can jump out. They're gone.
Yo.
And Athena, it'd have to be max. You'd have to place it under Athena's feet as soon as she taunted, because by the time that spins out, you might get that. So,
Hey,
it's,
pull a Scylla ult. Literally.
Yeah.
Smashing down on them right as they're thrown or pulled into the spot. GG.
Okay, now, here comes the fun part. The Odyssey
Oh.
2017's back. And this is not even the funnest part, because the next part is Xingten's Mountain. This is actually really cool. Good job, Hyris. This is cool. But, the Odyssey back. So, you embark on your journey until Smite World Championships. So, there will be... This is the new system here. You can direct purchase a item from the Odyssey, which will give you Odyssey points. After so many Odyssey points, you unlock more content, which is kind of like last year. After the first 3 items, you unlocked something. I can't remember what. I think it was 6th was out the Dragon Knight Ao Kuang,
Yo.
and
I
then
think so.
and whatever. So for that, not only can you get these Odyssey items, but you also get 7 quests a week to get even more Odyssey points. So let's say you got the Susanoo, the old Nuwa skin, Oh no, the old Nuance Collection Award. Let's say so that's at 3, or at something, I guess. So let's say you got a Samurai Susanoo, the Loden Frame, but you didn't really want the Amaterasu. But you got enough to equal up what Amaterasu was going to give you from all the quests you're going to get. You could get the Nuwa skin without having to buy it. So it's a lot. It's like it's kind of to the style of the Underworld event, which I'm really happy that they're doing this because, like I said, I'm not a fan of the Amaterasu skin. I still may pick it up because it's depending on how it looks in game a little bit more. But if I don't want to pick up the Amaterasu skin, I don't have to. I can do quests, which we go on quest streaks for 3 or 4 quests a night, 3, 4, 5, heck, maybe even 7 quests a single night if we're playing well enough. So it just comes down to if you're dedicated enough to do it.
Yep.
Yep. I'm looking forward to this Odyssey. It looks cool. I've read a lot about some of it. So we're starting in Japan. We're going to China, I think. I think China's the next. Looks like we're going to have some cool items in it. It looks like we're going to have some cool items.
All across the world, baby.
All across the world. We're going from Japan. I'm guessing it's going to be... A lot of people have been wondering like where it's going to be. It's probably going to go Japan, China, India for the Hindu pantheon, and then cut up to Greece, Rome, Norse, across the sea to Mayan. I feel like I'm missing one.
I think you got him.
I think I got him. And then Mayan, then to Atlanta. Because that makes the most sense.
Yeah. But...
Straight lines.
Thing we've been waiting for.
Oh, okay. So this one's cool.
Take it away.
This is a cool one. This is I actually got to watch a little bit of this. Not a whole lot. They'll be probably posted a little bit later on. But this is called Xing Ten's Mountain, and it kind of goes with Xing Ten's windscreen of kind of being king of the mountain. So it's a first ever PvE setup, I guess you could say, where you can take 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 players in. There will not be randoms, so it's you versus the world if you go in by yourself. And it's MMO style boss encounters. So it's based on waves. Think about it it's a 60 seconds, I think, also. And think about it as in I'm trying to think. Kind of like the last man standing in the arena during the Escape the Underworld again. It's you have so much time to do whatever. So much time to do this. Fight these people or last. Because sometimes you'll have somebody that's
almost unkillable.
Yeah, almost unkillable, and you just have to live basically. And you'll need people to peel, you'll need people to heal, you'll need people to DPS, you'll need physical damage DPS. They've even said that there's some people that they'll only be killed from magical damage over physical damage. So if you get full physical gods, you're screwed.
Hell is back.
So.
God.
It's basically Xing 10 got corrupted, and this is the style. So you'll start out at level 13 with 7,500 gold. So you'll have to, and this gets at the start. Now I don't think you can actually, I don't think stacking items really work on this, and number 2, I don't really think that you don't get more gold after each wave. So you're stuck with what you have throughout. So you'll be getting some of something, some of the others, and since you're 13, I'm guessing you'll get your 2 actives.
Yeah.
And at the start of each round, you will have a you'll be redone to full health, kind of like I said, Escape from the Underworld. Full health, reset cooldowns, so
mana.
You're free to, and reset mana. So you'll be free to just unload on whoever goes up there first. And it's weirdness. I mean, we saw one that was Bull Demon Ra, and I forgot who the other one was. Like Amaterasu.
A big giant arachne with a bunch of spider webs all over the place.
Mm-hmm. There was
Corrupted
something.
Xing 10.
Corrupted Xing 10. I think that's at level 25. So the top players will be shown on the leaderboard, showcasing how long players can survive Xing 10's mountain. So there is a leaderboard about that. I think the top 10. I think the enemy squad only made it to 19.
Wow.
The pro enemy team that made it was the semifinals. Actually, I don't know if it was the semifinals last year or if it's the new squad, but both times they were number 1 in North America and they only made it to level 19. So
Say something.
yeah, this is going to be tough. And if you make it to 25, you get something out of it. I think you get a Xing Tanner skin or something.
Gotta work for it.
Yeah, and it's random encounters. So the level 1's not always going to be the same as level 2. But after you get to 19, sometime they said after you get past 19 or something, there's a higher chance that you'll see repeats. But it's not always going to be repeats. So, and it's completely randomized. But
Yep.
it's more difficult, more defenses, more damage as you go on in that thing. So that's going to be cool. That's going to be real cool. So miscellaneous. Witchblade.
Wait,
Well, go ahead.
1 second. Do you know by chance if you gain levels? Or did they ever say?
Gain levels. What do you mean by that?
Yeah. Okay, so whenever you're like killing the boss and whatnot, if you actually like gain levels to 20.
I really don't know. I don't think you will. In
Ooh.
that, if you're not gaining any more gold and you don't have a shop to spend it at, it just comes down to what you can do with your with what you have. So it's kind of just you're kind of just there. And I'm sorry for that loud banging sound. I hit my headphones, and I have headphones on headphones right now, so it just everything up.
Okay.
So yeah,
Well, I think this was taken from if anybody's wondering, the raid bosses that you may have seen Incon or Weekend do.
Weekend, and all the other kind of
I
major.
think these were taken from those, but made more into a PvE type style because a lot of people
They
liked it.
actually did say something about it kind of being connected to a raid boss type thing,
Nice.
if I remember correctly. Now, like I said,
Well.
you guys can discount anything I say stupid today because I only got half of what I was saying because I was trying to hold a conversation with my whole group today, and listen to this in my other ear. So both of them didn't add up real well. You want Xing 10 on the cover? What was that? Okay, so miscellaneous changes. Witchblade now properly applies the slow to targets affected by Frostbound Hammer instead of being overwritten by Frostbound Hammer. So the slow from Witchblade was actually more than Frostbound Hammers, so it now overwrites Frostbound's Hammers, so you're not getting the weaker over the higher. You're actually getting the higher over the lower, and that's not really that's more of a that's miscellaneous because it's not really an item fix. It's a bug fix. So why is this? Never mind.
No clue. But item changes.
Oh boy.
Ooh. Well, this is something you'll probably use more than me, so I'll take on everything probably lower than this. Wait.
We'll go. You could take this. I'll take this one. You could take the next one because this one is something that you're going to pick up, and I may pick up to be honest with you. Ansile. So it got a new passive. I haven't really played around with it yet. I haven't really decided if it's worth yet. But it does have a larger silencing range because I think when you're hit with a magical ability, you give a pulse of silence for a certain amount of time, if I remember correctly, which has been a while since I've actually talked about Ansile. So heck if I know. So and now it'll let you hit a much greater area. Actually, it's not when you're hit with a magical attack, is it? I think it's like if you're slow somebody or something. I can't remember. It's something weird, but it's a larger silencing effect. I'm gonna probably play now that I've read about it a little bit. I may play with it a little bit, may make it into my warrior builds. It's a good counter building item, but I haven't really decided if it's worth or not. And I hear Fang clicking on his controller. I bet he's looking it up right now for me, so I'll know. Wade, you're wrong.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh no, you were right. Silences nearby enemies when hit by a magical ability.
Awesome. Okay, so I thought that was it. I knew they changed it from a slow when someone has something on here has something about a slow. Oh, it's Runeforge. Runeforge, my fault. Like
Yes.
I said, I got mixed up because I went from Ansile. I've jumped from Ansile to Runeforge when I was listening because I was having to take earbud in and out. But yeah, so That's going to be interesting. I mean, mages in the solo lane won't have much. I mean, it'll still be viable, but if someone builds this, this could be a little bit more of a problem for the Ra's and Changas and stuff. Unlike like Chronos, because of basic attack base. So,
Deal.
and if you're going to be a warrior in the mid lane, which you don't play warriors. I actually thought about doing a couple times. This could be an item to help with that also. So.
Deal.
I think you probably want to do this next one, Fan, because this thing's
Yep.
something you could pick up instead. Because I know you're not a big fan of the, what's it called? The Dynasty Helm?
Yeah,
But this
not
may be
really
a
one of my
little bit more
favorites.
up your alley.
So guys, for all those mage players, Celestial Legion Helm has got a buff to their physical protections. Celestial Legion Helm should be primarily anti-crit
Anti-crit.
item for mages and guardians. Even with the ability to nullify a critical hit, it didn't provide enough physical protections to deal with additional crits or other forms of physical damage. This item should now be more in line with other physical protection items while having the edge versus critical strikes. For you guys that hate playing a mage and boxing out those hunters, here we go. This is something that I know for a fact I'm definitely going to grab early game instead of Dynasty Home. And
Especially
it
against
looks
the
like,
hunter mid lanes that have been showing up a little bit more.
yeah.
Because,
And they're probably going to be showing up a little bit more because it is Anami now on the
yeah.
Xbox.
Yep. Well, that's more for us on Xbox. I know it's been different for the computer and everything. So, and we do bring it more from the Xbox point of view since we are Xbox players. But this item, to be the really specific with this one, this is huge, to be honest with you, because it is a 60 physical protection item with magical power, and I mean, that's about amount. I think one of the most built physical protection items is Breastplate of Valor, and that has 80. So you've gotten more physical protection than
Ooh,
Breastplate of
baby.
Valor, and it's cheaper than Valor. So this is actually a very viable. I actually called for this at the start of Season 3. Give it more protections. Make it more viable for the support. And this is this is a much more viable support item in that it gives more physical protections and gives you that anti-crit to deal with the pain in the asses in the duo lane that just like to screw with you. Especially if you have something like an Artemis going against you and it's getting that random ass crit when you're never really expecting it, and that one-shots you from like half health, and you're sitting there like, what the fuck? Especially, let me just bring this up, since Izanami can crit on both goings of her scythe, and every hit with her scythe, her go and come back, procs a stack on rage. I actually figured that out earlier today.
Yeah.
So even if you don't crit on the first two going out, you now have 2 stacks on rage and a much higher chance to crit on the next one. So that's for those hunters, that kind of gives you a reason to build rage. And also, Ninja Tabe.
Ooh, baby.
Warrior Tabe. I had this. Who did I talk about? About Ninja Tabe. I said Ninja Tabe is useless, I guess, unless you're going for a purely attack speed build. Who was it that I was talking about? That was it you or Jen?
It was me because I had something.
It was not
Yeah,
Kali.
yeah.
And I said, yeah, Ninja Tabe is absolutely, and this is specifically says it right here. Unless you're just completely going with basic attacks, Warrior Tabe was better than Ninja Tabe. And like I exactly said, and they gave it mana and more attack speed, which gives you, I mean, Kali's going to get a boost from this. Shibo's going to get a boost from this. A lot of hunters are going to get the boost from this. I mean, I may even build Ninja Tabe in a Neath to give me a little bit more time to get my Transcendence online, since it usually takes a little bit longer. I mean, hunters can really get into these Ninja Tabes. The basic attack assassins can. It's just heck, some ability-based assassins can. just that have a mix like Susanoo or Bassett or that kind of have to mix in those basic attacks to confirm sometimes. Um, it just seems like it's a much better pick now, and I've really wanted them to add something to them because we have on the mage side you have pen boots and then cooldown boots, but then on this one it was warrior tabe, which is kind of like the pen boots and just pure power really, and then ninja tabe had the attack speed, but if you look at it compared to cooldown boots had the power, the cooldown, and now the mana. Ninja Tabe didn't have that, so it kind of evens it out compared to the other forms. So really, really happy with this one. And then the I'm gonna carry this one also because this one really counts towards me also because I actually run the reinforced shoes and greaves sometimes, especially with my warrior supports, and it gives a passive which gives you. When you're hit by an enemy god, you gain a stack of armor plus 5, up to 5 stacks, so 25 physical and magical protections, up to, lasts for 6 seconds of refreshing on each stack gained. So, dots are going to be, if you if you have people that have dots, that's going to be a problem with. Very high basic attackers, it could be a problem with early. It makes these two a lot more viable, and I can see them actually getting picked up. I know some people aren't going to think that deeply into it, but going into a reinforced greaves on like a Guan Yu against a Xing Ten in the dual lane or something could really help. Could really help.
Yup.
Yep. I mean, Fang's sitting here thinking, I'm never going to use them anyway.
True that.
Runeforge. This one is, like I said, it was the one that has something about... Runeforge has the one about slows, and it was a much slow... I think it's increased... What was it? Well, I don't remember what its aura does. But I know it has to do something with slows. Runeforge Hammer.
Slowed enemies near you take more damage.
That's what I thought. I didn't want to say it because I wasn't sure, but I knew slow. Once you slow somebody, the aura that gives you an aura that gives an aura to them that reduces their or I guess applies an aura. I don't know why it's an aura effect.
I guess it applies a effect to.
I guess it's a pulse
for them
aura.
Take 10% more damage.
Yeah, I guess it's a pulse aura, and I guess within the area it just doesn't give out enough. This is why I got it mixed with Ancile, because it's a very equal effect in this effect that you do something and it applies an effect. So they talked about Chalk doing it. Chalk could do this in a very large area due to having a lot of slows, and Chalk would be a main contender to get this because then you're gonna have to, because this can affect a whole team fight if you play this right with a Chalk slow. And it could be detrimental to a lot of teams. So this is interesting. And with more area, it's only more of a chance. Only more of a chance. So next up, this is one that I run personally. I know pen boots are kind of outshadowed them, but I still run the Shadows of Focus much more than pen boots. But I think this is something Fang wants to talk about.
Yep, definitely. Thank you, Wade. So Shoes of Focus. Shoes of Focus offers strong utility to mages, but when compared to the raw power and penetration that shows of the Magi, provided it was harder to use Shoes of Focus on more than...
They misspelled so hard. It's Shoes of the Magi.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you just said that wrong, but you were reading it straight on.
No. They messed it up. I'm gonna read it just like they have it.
Shoes of Magi confirmed.
Hey, I'll take shows of Magi. Do we get some blinds with that? But, with an increase in magical power, the choice between the cooldown or the penetration for mages will be much closer. This, in my opinion, is probably the thing I've been waiting for. Just for the fact that, pen is nice to have.
But there's so many other pen items.
With Shoes of Focus not actually having the magical power needed to needed to contest with the pin coming from Shoes of Magi, it wasn't really much of a choice that mages had to do. It was Shoes of Magi. You get pin, you get your 45 magical power, you're out. But now, since Shoes of Focus are getting this buff, there'll be 5 magical power behind the pin boots. They'll also, like already, have their 250 mana uh, add-on, 10% cooldown, and that pretty much puts you in everything that you need, and it gives you the cooldown for you to be throwing out your abilities more.
I
Unless
mean,
you're running something like Breast on yourself, the Shoes of Focus might be the better idea instead of Pin.
if you're going to run the Dynasty Plate Helm anyway, like if people are going to pick that over Celestial Legion Helm, if you get the Dynasty Plate Helm, there's your penetration anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there you go.
So you can switch out your Pin boots for Magi. I mean, Shoes of
Focus.
Focus. God dang. And get your Dynasty helm. There you go. You got your pin and your cooldown.
So, and
Win-win.
this is one that I saw coming for a while. Although I'm surprised it took them this long to do. So, Talaria boots are basically there's the running shoes on the magic side, and there's Talaria boots on the physical side, and it just made it equivalent to it, really. And given warriors better chance in the support role, which, to be honest with you, I'd probably run the reinforced or warriors instead of Talaria anyway. Although Talaria does let you get around the map a little bit more and catch that target sometimes. But the thing is about warriors, they're usually a little bit faster than guardians anyway. So if you've got your full boots on, and there's actually a couple of items that warrior supports can pick up. They give a little bit movement speed, like a wing blade, and the ritual dagger. So, I mean, it's a choice. I probably won't use it, but I'm happy that they're finally equaling the playing field and making it. For the assassins that want to run it, there you go. I mean, get you around the map a little bit quicker. So, done with items. Everybody got new shoes, but a couple. They really they gave a little love to the warriors outside of the solo lane. So that's real good for me that's real good for me and Chen because we run warriors in the support lane and the support position and the jungle, and not really as much in the solo lane. So
Yeah.
I'm feeling good about that. But
To the dreaded God changes.
God changes, and it's the only thing I think there's one thing on here. I don't know if you've gotten that far down, but there's one thing that Fang's going to be really sad about, and I already know it, and I watched it. And you're going to be sad about this, and we'll get down to it soon. So.
Oh, I already see it.
So,
I already see it.
Bassett has not been strong. She's not been good, and I mean, really, you could tell why, because when you have to drop your whole kit on somebody to kill them, and she's really only good at taking objectives. The cats and her abilities aren't big enough range to really give her a good team fight presence, and she doesn't have enough confirm and burst damage to take out that squishy target in the back line without making herself very vulnerable. And if you get silenced out of your jump, you're screwed. So, she's getting more base mana at the start, more MP5 per level. Her pounce is getting a lower mana cost, so she doesn't get screwed as much because, I mean, she runs out of mana and she's screwed either way if she doesn't silence or not. And her Razor Whip, increased damage but lower scaling, so it makes her a little bit, still a little more less viable character in the late game, which, I mean, she already was just basically that tower, that split push tower killer that in the late game anyway, but she has a little bit more damage early, and it's just about it's 5 more damage on her Razor Whip. It's not going to be horrible. I don't know if this brings her back into the meta or not, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see if we see the split push Bassett come back into position.
Yep.
Which
And,
that can be a pain, but I mean, especially when a good guardian or a good warrior can just say like stand in front of a razor whip and pull the cats onto them, and the cats don't do enough damage usually. So her late game's not going to be good, basically that good anyway. She's going to have to get ahead early and then just look for those towers. Look for that split push. Oh, you're team fighting? Let me throw out the cats and run around. I mean, let me show my face, and then let them think that I'm here, and then run over here and take this tower with the cats. I mean, that's the best you can do.
exactly. But yeah, bad pun.
Oh, I think that pun just gave me cancer. Okay, moving on. Do you want this one, Fang?
Ooh, yep.
You want
It's
this?
Nami. Apparently, she wasn't doing enough when they tossed her out. So, you'll as you can see, she is getting a buff. Her fadeaway, or what I like to call it, the Loki stealth. It is increased. It has been increased,
What Alcong stealth?
or alcohol stuff.
It's
Yeah,
Alcong
yeah.
stealth because Loki can actually like attack as long as he doesn't attack somebody in his stealth. Whereas she just throws one scythe, even if it doesn't hit anything. Well, you're fucked.
True.
You burned it.
Yeah, yeah. But fadeaway has been increased by 1 second for every rank. So yeah, that's that extra second. So might be the second you need.
That's really for getaways because you can super
Yeah.
see where she's going, and I
Yeah.
mean, especially going through if you're in the jungle or something, it's pretty easy to tell where the heck you're going with it.
True that.
So I can see that. And then Death Dark Portal.
Dark Portal. Increased damage, and this is her ult, just in case any of you are wondering. Is increased damage basically by 40. At, well,
40 at max rank.
40 at max rank.
So it's just stronger late game. She's moving more towards that late game hunter.
Yep. And the scaling has been increased by 10%. So that it hits a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Well, she kind of needed it. I mean, I've seen the basic attack-wise. Her early game is absolutely horrible. She's going to need someone very safe.
True.
Which, that does kind of help that Sylvanas is very, very strong right now. He's very, very safe early. He's very good early game. So, you pair a Sylvanas with her to help her clear and everything. I feel like she can be... I feel like, as long as you can get her to late game. If this is like Xbalanque 2.0. As long as you get in the late game, you'll be good. But you get screwed over early, you're kind of screwed. So, and I don't know if you said anything about the scaling, but 10% more scaling, so the more damage you build, the
Yeah.
more damage it does. As usual. So, Nemesis.
On the
Nemesis has been a
Nemesis.
first ban on all consoles. It has been on consoles and PC. She's got, what, an 86% ban ratio on SPL right now? Something like that?
Pretty high.
It's pretty high. I mean, to be honest with you, she's really high. And Susanoo's higher, and Susanoo didn't get touched. I mean, I think it's more because Susanoo is really strong CC-wise, and if they take the CC away, he's useless.
Yep.
And to be honest, it's really the CC that does it for him. So, to nerf his damage would be detrimental to him just being picked, period, because he won't do anything. And to take away the CC, it would just be horrible. I mean, he wouldn't do anything, so... So next up we have, and so she got a cooldown on her Divine Judgment. I think it's kind of her old cooldown, in that it's 90 to 70. So, I mean, that just makes her a little bit more late game that she needs to, like she used to be. So, I mean, good. It's a good thing. It's not huge, but I do see a change to her going down, and maybe that ban ratio, ban percentage. Just because if you can't jump on someone early game with that 70-second cooldown on that ultimate, you can't do a lot early game. So,
Yep.
and if she falls behind, she's not. No, she is not good if you fall behind early. So
True
I think
that.
this is one that Fang wants to do.
Well, guys, next one is Nox. She's getting nerfed. Nah, I'm just messing with you. Okay,
It's nerfed in Fang's eyes.
nah, she's getting a new taunt animation. I never got to see it. I don't even know if they showed it, but wait, did you
I saw
get
it.
to
I
feast
actually
your
did
eyes on
see
it?
it. I got to see it on there. I surprisingly, it was one of the times I flipped my phone over in this whole because we got a little bit of a low period. And I flipped it over. So she no longer puts her hands to the sides of her boobs and shakes them. She does continue with the lean over position, but she kind of does like a shh, and then does the the basketball player like no no no. She does kind of a shush, which kind of makes sense because she's a god of her all of her abilities, silence and stuff. So it kind of does that hush and then finger wag of no no no, which.
My
But it's she's still got that cleavage hanging out, but she's not shaking it like the very sexualized it was she was. So
my opinion, she's she's too dark anyways. Basically the taunt she has right now just gives her that little light, playful side, I guess. Plus, I mean, if you're just doing a conquest and you're playing with randoms, if you want to take their attention off of the actual game, you just pull out that ton. They're like, "Oh, look at that Nux," and at the same time,
everyone knows
you've
that you
already
got,
got
everyone
different
knows that you
place.
just take her into you disappear for a little bit and just take her into jungle practice for that.
Nah, I mean, I when taunting the enemies,
I mean,
like
taunting the
literally,
enemies, I
they
wouldn't
they
watch it.
stop.
I
No,
promise, I
they
wouldn't
stop
watch this taunt.
attacking for a second,
I,
and it's
I
just
didn't even
like,
remember the taunt. I don't know what you're talking about. I never looked at it. Hey,
oh,
wait, come
I've
over
looked at
here
the
and
taunt.
watch
I don't
this.
have a
This is my
problem with it.
favorite taunt in the
I've looked
game.
at the taunt. I don't
Okay,
have a problem
so
with it.
Nua's Clay Soldiers got an AI boost, which I've seen so many gifs about the stupidness of the Clay Soldiers. And to be honest, the minions, now that they're actually prioritizing gods and not minions,
Thank God.
uh, that goes to a gif if any of you guys saw it. Uh, it's made it kind of strong, so they had to reduce the protection shred per stack, um, which makes that a little bit not as strong. But I mean, if there's minions in your wave, it's not gonna go to those minions anymore. So you'll have to worry about that a little bit more. Uh,
Yeah, but if you're in arena or something, you don't have to worry about your minions taking off from the guy you're attacking over in the
Go
camps
take
and
the
running
buff camp
straight to mid lane,
or the puff
or
camp.
start taking the camp. Yeah, it's like, guys, I wanted you to attack that raw right there, but no,
Okay,
no
guys,
need now.
just as
I'm
we
dead.
practice, attack the god. Attack the god.
But
Minions.
yeah, uh, I don't really play her for that reason. You'll be in like a camp or something with a god attacking you. You throw out your minions, they turn around straight minions. It's like there's a god in front of me who is throwing everything he's got, and I can't even stun him or run away because my minions ain't blocking or running toward him. So it just gives you that edge that you need. And honestly, I feel like if anything in this patch, other than her old Nuwa skin, was very good, it was this right here because that actually makes Nuwa more playable, easier, and just more accepting for anybody who really wants to just jump in and try out for a first time or come back to her, which is pretty nice.
And as a but the thing is about it is a good thing, but I don't see it being the push that she needs to get use.
Oh no, she's not going to get used in
Higher level
SPL, I'll
use.
be honest.
It's gonna be. She's good. She's a good burst damage mage, but she's just too. She's like Poseidon and Zeus. Poseidon and Zeus though have attack speed boosts or high damage and an AOE that they can summon at a point. She really doesn't have that. So if her minions are on cooldown, it's not good for her. She's not going to be getting much. I myself don't feel like she's getting much use. They may change that because there are those random A mid laners that just like to run random A stuff, and they're the only person in the world that's good with them enough to play them at that level. So proved me wrong, one of you random A mid laners in the SPL or SCL, whichever one it's going to be.
Cuckoo.
Ah, yeah, that Cuckoo
Mixed
still got
stealth.
his butt kicked. I
Literally.
mean,
Hey, but
the
Cuckoo,
Cuckoo got
best
his
tower
butt
sitter
kicked.
ever. Best tower sitter ever. You
Yeah,
don't have
and
to
he
give
still got
credit.
his butt kicked in that game. We watched that
Hey,
game thing.
we did
Get
watch
on
the
Poseidon.
game, but
Go on to Poseidon.
hey,
Go
my
on to
thing is,
Poseidon.
if you got a good
Cuckoo
jungler
ain't
who
even
can
in
jump
this
on
patch
him,
notes. Go on to Poseidon.
okay. Since we're getting so much hate on the other side, we'll go to Poseidon.
What?
Poseidon, his tide, increased movement speed by 5%. Well then, if not worrying about Poseidon running up to me and cracking me, I've got to worry about him running away and not accepting the butt kicking that he's going to get for it.
Well, the thing is about that though, that's at the speed bonus at the max of Tide. So you have to keep. He doesn't have that after he Krakens you because he's got an empty Tide meter.
Well then,
Exactly. This is
I'm going to have fun.
this is
now.
a faster this is if he gets his Tide up, and as soon as he pops an ability, he loses that boost because the Tide is no longer his Tide meter is no longer full.
Oh, so basically it's going to be guy has more movement speed to get to me to cracking me.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. No. And Trident. Reduce the pre-fire on this ability so players can immediately fire a basic attack without waiting for Trident's animation to finish. Wow.
That helps. It helps a
Yep.
lot with clearing, especially since you don't have it does have he has decent clear, but that also helps him get his Tide meter up because most people want Trident to go away because that buff seemed a lot really not very useful in his set. But Trident is the only reason that he's really seen as an ADC mage, in that this gives him the ability to take down towers pretty quickly. It does let him fill his Tide meter quicker, and being that you don't have to sit there for that full second or 2 seconds, I don't even know how long it is. It takes a while for him to spin the Trident to fire it. I mean, you just activate the ability and start basic attacking. I think it's a pretty cool thing. I know that Fang just doesn't have a whole lot. He doesn't like Poseidon really a lot, so it's a
Nope.
good thing for him, but it still don't give him an escape.
Oh yeah. Gotta have fun time.
But still, he's safer than Nuwa in that he can't. I mean, you throw the whirlpool up and it slows.
Ugh.
Okay,
Oh, no
so
soul.
we'll move on a little bit. Go on to Ravana, which I'm kind of sad about. I've actually been liking the Ravana solo lane, although I did get my ass kicked in the last one I played. But I mean, it's early in Shin, so I mean. So Ravana is a big
Carry.
bully in lane. He is a really big bully in lane. So they increased Piranha Onslaught's cooldown, which it was a really low cooldown to be honest with you, and it only has I think it max. I mean, the highest it ever goes is like 35 mana or something like that for use. And it's a bigger cone since it's buff, so it's really good actually. And his Shadow Fist reduced the heal. I've actually been Fang has seen it. I mean, I've taken the 1 or 2 hit. The heal is actually really strong because I could throw through a wave like as I'm tower diving and get enough to take 2 more shots. So I could see the heal getting nerfed a little bit, and it's so a full minion wave, 7 minions I think. So you're dropping off 35 health at every rank, which early game that's going to be a big deal. Late game the heal's never been a big deal with Ravana. But early game that's going to help him. That's going to make him a little bit more vulnerable to that early game death until he gets to that mid game where he thrives. And then Terra with a little bit of a general thing, you're going to show there's an actual cracking texture when her stones are about to fade, which it's cool. I mean,
Nice effect.
Terra OP, Terra not OP, I don't really know. Haven't seen her played. So, I mean, so that's about everything. I love to see what you guys have to say about the items. Not a whole lot in the way. I mean, I feel like actually there's been a lot of stuff go towards the hunters and everything. Not a lot of love for the guardians and the warriors and the mages. More more love towards the hunters and assassins. So I mean, we really got some love for for the other classes in this one with the change of boots, couple new items, warriors really getting kind of a feel, and kind of some well-needed nerfs and well-needed well, not really well-needed nerfs and well-needed buffs. Kind of those ones that you see there, go, okay, I can see that, or that's not going to be
Not
tier
absurd.
shift. That may not be tier shifting, but it may take them out of like the whole batting phase and give you a choice to say, hey, I don't want to I don't really mind dealing with that now that it's like that. So it's interesting to see, and looking forward to all these cool skins. So, oh wow, I'm still zoomed in on Nuwa. Okay, there we go.
Hey,
It was her,
sometimes.
it was her face, Fang.
Oh.
Chill. See,
uh,
but
sometimes you just gotta zoom in,
you know
face or
what?
not.
Before this goes any further, I'm gonna end the video. See you guys in the next patch notes, which will be about 2 weeks, when we see the next god, which is going to be Mayan. And then after that, I think we get another Roman god, and then and then a Greek god. Which
My question is, can we get a mage up in here, please, high res?
Fang wants a mage.